those 2 weeks are coming again, you know. But when you're talking about things that you've been praying for that haven't come to pass yet, and it may be weeks and weeks and weeks and years and months have went through and it didn't come to pass yet, and you're wondering, when is this thing going to happen? Just for anybody that came in, the topic is waiting on God's blessings, standing on his promises. Amen? Waiting on his blessings and standing on his promises. And so we're talking about right now waiting on his blessings, waiting on what he said that he was going to do for us. Amen. So I'll throw something out there. Really, who's waiting on who? You know, sometimes we think we waiting on him, and he waiting on us. You know, figure that out and try to say, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, what do you mean? There are things that I've asked you to do. There's things that I asked you to comply with and respond to, but you haven't did those things, so you kind of got my hands tied a little bit. And so sometimes when you want God to bring forth or bring a breakthrough or to bring things to pass, going to the 37th chapter of Psalms where it talks about delight yourself also in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. But then also in that same passage going down, he talks about committing your ways to him. He talks about resting in him. He talks about other things that must take presence in our life before those things are going to come to pass in our life. It's one thing, I can delight myself in God, but I just can't stop there. I still got to commit my ways unto him. I still have to trust in him. I still have to wait on him. So there's so many components that we put together. And see, when we start doing those things, we should and we could forget about time. Because now we're busy praying. We're busy meditating. We're busy interceding for somebody. Or we're busy praising or worshiping. We're busy doing all of those things that we must do that keeps us going. Like I said today, as believers, we should never be bored. Because there's always something to pray about. There's always something to read about. There's always something to study to get yourself better, to learn, to get stronger. There's always something you can be doing to get there. You know, but we worry about the circumstance. You know, we worry about the lack of what we don't have, and so we focus on those things instead of focusing on what God has promised us. Matt, you had?
Yeah, well, it's like your favorite scripture tells you, meditate day and night, so that right there proves that.
Amen.
I think of Jesus as our example, and that he's our high priest in that he
can do for you? Can I help you? You do that. You talk to God. I mean, you talk to him. But when it comes to God, a lot of times we talk to him when, you know, we're in trouble or when we need a little help, but it's as a daily practice. How are we talking to him? As our bridegroom, as the good shepherd. How are we relating to him? How are we communicating to him on a day-to-day basis?
I think since the baby boomers, which is my generation, a lot of our communication skills were lost because the television set became our babysitter.
Sure enough, I can agree with
And
that.
our sense of life comes from watching other people on television instead of learning how to communicate with people that you're with.
This is true. This is true.
TV,
Yeah.
TV can turn off if you want.
Yes, again. Yes, God.
I'd like to back up a little bit where you said that who's waiting for who.
Yeah.
And the subject waiting for God and waiting for his blessing is a tight subject that, you know, there's a lot of roots and sprang out from it. However, the waiting, you said who's waiting for who? Well, sometimes we waiting for God and God is waiting for us. So what is God waiting for? He's waiting for us to find that particular group where we need to go and to follow it, go through it. Sometimes we are ready or whatnot, but we just can't find the right path to go. So what happens is that like for instance right now, the issue that I'm dealing with, I'm waiting for the Lord, and the Lord waiting for me. He waited for me to keep on searching from one contract to another one, from one counselor to another one, show me which direction to go, guide me in the right path, and how to get these things done, how to bring all of these stuff together. And if I just sit back and say, God is going to fix it, it's not going to happen. But by me, instead of making phone calls, by me going to meetings, by me having luncheons and different things like this, getting to meet these people, getting to know somebody that can guide me and help me, I am finding more and more, and it's saving time. It takes way more time than I thought or I expected for it to take, but it's working. It's coming together. And so I'm waiting for God, but yet God is waiting for me. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for God to actually for a couple things. Waiting for God to send me that person that's going to say, oh, that's a place where I'm going to build you a synagogue. Well, that's what happened in the Bible. The Jews, the man said, go to Jesus for me and tell him, you know, whatever. And they went to Jesus. They told Jesus that this man, he's not one of us, but he loves us. He loved this nation. He built us a synagogue. And he needs certain things. Right? Jesus said, he got it. He got it.
That's true.
So I'm waiting for God to touch somebody's heart and says he's going to open up some avenues. He's going to speak to somebody with a grant. He's going to get this right paperwork together, get all of these forms and things come together so that I can get this grant.
Amen. I want to just read that Psalms 37 real quick. Verse 6. Around 11 verses. It says, do not fret, it's Psalms 37. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. So there's a key word, patiently. Don't just wait, but wait patiently. That's enduring. Enduring means patiently, without complaining, without murmuring. Patiently, wait patiently on God. For him, do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it only causes more harm. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Amen. And so, sometimes we tight too. We a little upset because we feel like here we got the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God that owns 1,000 cattle on the hilltop. God that says, if I was hungry, I wouldn't even tell you I was hungry. God that knows all, have all, sovereign. And it seems like us being saints of the Most High God, it feels like the wicked have more than we have. It seems like they prosper. It seems like they got so much and we have so little. But we do have much, which is more of the internal. They have the external, but they have gotten it through illegal gain. They have gotten it through schemes. They have gotten it through taking advantage of the poor and all those different things. So even in this time, I said, don't fret, don't get mad, don't get tight when you see them prospering, because it's just for a moment. They're like the chaff of the wind. You're going to look for them and they're going to be gone. And so we get a little angry sometimes. We say, man, I'm paying my tithe, I'm paying my offering, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It seems like it's a pull. It seems like it's a struggle. It seems like it's just a whole big thing for me to get ahead, like where, I would like to have money and spend money where it don't hurt. I mean, how many people in here would say, listen, I would like to just say, well, I'm going to take vacation for, 3-4 days, come back, don't have to worry about, credit card charging all the way up, and you feel good about it. And not have to worry about, hey, I got to bust my behind these next 2 weeks to try to catch back up. And, nobody, I don't think anybody, financial freedom is a wonderful thing to have. It's a wonderful thing to be able to have. If I need, people don't really understand what financial freedom is. When your car is messed up or you're a tradesman, you want to be able to say, I got it now, here, take care of it. If you need new tires in your car, you need new brakes in your car, freedom is when you can go straight to the bank. You don't have to borrow, you don't have to use credit, but you can go straight and get liquid cash and say, how much is that, sir? Here you go. That is financial freedom. And that is the type of things that I know I seek for. It's not to be rich, it's not to be filthy, whatever, because, sometimes, the Bible says that we're poor not because, God's not because I'm not blessing you, but you're poor because you're lazy. You're poor because you're wasteful. You're poor because you deal with a slack hand, right? So those are a lot of things which keep us broke. We get money and we just waste it. We have money. God's saying it's not that I haven't blessed you, but it's just that your money is tied up over here, over there, over there, over there. You got these bills. It says, I'm blessing you through your job. I'm giving you the money that you need to have, but how have you taken care of it? And so, if you got your bills is $2,000 to $3,000 a month, look where all that money's at. It's tied up. It said, rebuke the devourer off of your finances.
$2,000 or $3,000 a month. And the income is $2,000 a month.
That's This is true. What it says, that scripture in Proverbs says something great gain is, financial. But the Bible says great gain is when you can be content in God.
That's First
You
Timothy
can be
6:6.
content.
Contentedness with godliness is
Great gain. You know what I mean? So the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. And then all these other things shall be given unto you. So sometimes we kind of got it like backwards. We seeking, and again, it's a difference when you seeking materialistic things that have cars and have houses and have shoes, but financial freedom is when there are problems that come up that are unfortunate, and you always have a strategy to take care of them without you having to struggle. I see that. I don't see me having, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 available so I can just go out and buy me another car, buy me another house, and just do this and just go get all kinds of materialistic things that don't add up to nothing. I think that's a waste of money. But when you have money, you can take care of your responsibilities without struggle. I think that's the financial freedom that I'm talking about, and everybody would like to have. Yes, ma'am.
Can we, in our waiting, accept the no answer from God?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
We should be able to. We should be able to.
How you do that?
And our waiting on God's answer, could we accept the no? God, I want this. No. Because it's either wait, no, or yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that why we pray in His will? We should be praying in His will. Because you can make a good amount of income, but what do you do with it? Where do you blow it at? Where do you spend frivolously? Where do you just waste it at? I'm giving this to you. This is step one. Step two is I'm giving it to you. That's step one. Now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to save it correctly? Are you going to implement it where it needs to be? Are you going to hold back where you don't have to? And then so since step three comes, then the blessing will unravel and unfold itself after you follow step two correctly, and that is taking care of what I've given you. Bless me with a house. Well, ask Him to bless you with the payment too. Yeah, I want the house, but can I afford the house? God, I may allow you to get the house, but if I got the $2,000 monthly payment to go with it, until you got to know that. Yeah, right.
I know you're right, and Mr. Adams was talking about no, and I'm saying no on the sense of me as a person. You lend and lend and lend, and then you never get it back. And then the Lord bless you to get back on your feet and be where you want to be in saving, and then all of a sudden it starts coming back around, and now I'm ready to say, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I mean it, and now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
It's okay to say no.
Yes,
It's
it
going to
is.
be okay to say no because that's the way I live my life.
Sometimes it makes me feel selfish.
If we're going to get ahead like Brother Jamel said we're going to get ahead, I don't see how I'm going to get ahead if every time I turn around and I'm giving mine away. I have learned from years of experience, no means no. I'm not going to do it.
And it doesn't mean all the time, no, but it means that I went around the same rock, and I continue to fall short every time. And sometimes we as Christians, we get to the point where we don't know how to say no sometimes to people. And sometimes we just need to say no. And just, hey, listen, I had to Sorry.
What I learned in the process of the subject we're talking about,
Of no or something else?
This is the whole topic.
waiting on God.
Waiting on his blessing, standing on his promises.
Is that from what I seem to understand from the scripture that I read, God has prepared everything from foundation.
See, that's what we was reading here.
He has prepared everything, blessings
Yes,
and curses.
yes.
He has laid everything in order according to his will. And he put everything in place. And you see when the computer people came along and created a computer, you can understand more about how God did what he did. Now what God did, he put wealth before us. And Deuteronomy chapter 30 somewhere in that chapter, it said, I set before you curses and blessings,
Mm-hmm.
and good and bad or whatever. And he said, you choose good, that you and your ancestors, you and your seed may live. Now, that is the big thing, is that God has already placed everything. But it's up to us to find the way to it, to receive it, to get it, to achieve it. We have to keep struggling. That's what takes so long a lot of times, is us, even if we find a way, then we got to make up our mind whether we want to
Yes.
go across that muddy path, or we want to go that rocky road, or whatever it is that we have to do to acquire and to get what God has prepared for us, because he has said it, therefore, he might have put it out there in the middle of the ocean. Now we got to find out how to get out there in that ocean and get it. It might be in one of the most muddiest ponds, the muddiest swamps, but we got to find a way to get out there and get it. And that's where we have most of our problems.
Yes, right.
They're trying to get there and trying to find a way. God says what? When you achieve this, and this, nothing will be impossible for you. In St. John chapter 15, I don't know what verse it said, when your ways please mine, when the word live in you and you live in the word, he said you can ask whatever you will and it'll be granted to you. So it's God has put it there for us. We just got to get it.
Yes.
He said, like you just said, I'm giving you wealth. But the only thing about it, wealth and a fool soon depart.
Yes, it does.
You cannot, if you're foolish, you can't hold wealth.
No, you can't.
You can hit the lottery for $5 million, and in 5 years you'll be broke as a sheep bag. Huh? Because if you don't know how to manage yourself and don't have self-control,
Yes, Pastor.
self-control include temptation of all sorts, spending temptation, lending some temptation, giving temptation, all of it is included
Yes, sir.
in self-control.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
With that topic of no, we're sitting here talking about how God tells us no sometimes. It's done out of love. So the same
Right.
way, we can
Right.
be Christians and say no.
Yeah.
But we're not God, Tim. We're not God.
We're trying to get there.
No, I'm saying that if I say no to somebody, guess what? I'm the enemy now. I'm the wrong guy. Oh, not the elder, not Mr. Matt. I know, man. I know he. No, that's what I get every time. I get it every single time.
But we started out talking before about how we get mad at God sometimes too. The same way they're getting mad at us. Sometimes when you get God to things, people are going to get mad at you.
That's right. And it's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
It's going to happen. It's part of life.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's okay. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it is okay. And when you find yourself, God, okay, just to go back to what you were saying, Pop, when you want to get to a place with God, he says to the children of Israel, he says, I have given you the land. But I've given you the land, and it's such where you have to go and possess it. something, it doesn't matter if it's a rainy road, it doesn't matter if it got ice on it, it doesn't matter if it's snowing, it doesn't matter if it's sleet or hail. If he told you you can get it, you got to go wherever way he told you got to get it. That's the only way you're going to get it. You got to make up in your mind that you want to get it. Beat down, or sometimes right in the church. Sometimes here, we're struggling to get to a certain level, a certain place. And people are talking about us. People are lying on us. People are ridiculing us. And people are hurting us. And so you're saying, do I run out the church because somebody's hurting me? No, God says, great. Come back in, beat the bells off the church. Come out, clap your hands and stomp your feet. And just take that. And watch the blessings come out of that. Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
He also didn't give them all the land at once, too. He could have destroyed and killed every single person, but it was a process. They would have been overwhelmed if he gave them the entire land all at once. They wouldn't know what to do. It's the same way you talked about. Somebody could win $5 million, and within 5 years they could blow it all. There's sometimes you could be too overwhelmed and too much to handle at once. So sometimes when God's telling us now, he knows that's too much for you. He's going to give it to you in a manner that you can handle it and deal with it, too.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
From what you were saying last, I just wanted to say Hebrews 13:1 says, let brotherly love continue. Let it. Don't stand in the way of brotherly love continuing. And that we should owe no man anything but love. The other thing I wanted to say, I'll say later.
Amen. Yeah.
What I'm sitting here thinking when you're saying to get to your blessings, I think the reason that, people choose the way of the world over the church is because the way of the world is so much easier.
Yeah.
I mean,
Faster.
it's instant gratification.
Sure enough.
And there's no
Struggle.
at all, it's just, you go out, you do something scandalous or sleepy, and
Thank you. Take that.
we've been 20 minutes with somebody who worked for 2 weeks for it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to work for 2 weeks for $7 an hour,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's the same as here. But when you get here, you stay here, you stay encouraged, you keep going. When you get to your blessing, it's so much more satisfying.
That's right. Yes,
That's
okay.
right. That's right. That's right, Tori.
Just a couple things about struggling. You were saying from the promise to the problem to
Provision to the problem, to the promise.
provision. Okay. Through struggling, our muscles build.
Yeah.
It takes a tearing down of the muscle and rest to
Yes.
have the muscle rebuilt.
Yeah.
And a butterfly, if you help the butterfly out of the cocoon, then that butterfly's wings won't be strong enough to carry it.
Right. This is true. This is good stuff,
But
y'all.
you have to get out the
This is-
cocoon
this is-
itself,
Yeah.
this guy.
It's like the baby, the eagle, he takes his youngin way up there and drop the baby eaglet down.
Sound cruel.
If he don't learn how to fly, she ain't gonna let him kill him. She will be that mama eagle will come down and grab him. Put him back way up in there, give him a little time. He's shaking like, what the world you did that for? Why did you do that? No, I never flew before. You will throw me down here. 300,000 miles you let me fall.
That's right.
And she keep taking him and just throw him down there. Oh, God, so after a while, he just,
Out of fear.
I struggle. Not because he want to live.
That's right.
He don't want to die. He want to, you know what I'm saying? He want to thrive. He want to get to where he want, you know what I'm saying? We look at some of these obstacles in our life as bad things.
You're not old enough to know what dying is. You don't care what it means. Instinct.
Instinct. God made us all to live. And so we see that struggle and obstacles and things in our way. It's those problems that we look at it and say, well, I got to go through problems. Why I got to face this? Why me, Lord? Why I got to go through this? It's not fair.
I don't.
It's not accept
Straighten it out.
what God has for you.
Straighten it
God, if this is the path that you have planned, then give it to me. Whatever.
Yes, amen.
Christ said, not my will, nevertheless, not my will, but your will.
Amen.
This ain't the path that I, wanted to go down, but it's your will. So I'm going to take it. And so, and that's the thing, we have to learn how to accept what God has for us. Just like we accept what our boss says to us. This is what you're going to do. This is what well, you're going to have to stand outside when it's 0 degrees and you have to work. I look at some of those construction workers, and they out there with masks on and like 7 coats on. That's what their job said. This is what you have to accept. You want the paycheck at the end of the 2 weeks, and you signed up. This is what you're saying. Hey, this is what you're gonna have to do. And so that's what we have to do in Christ. You said that you said I do, God. So he said it's no longer I, but it's the Christ that lives inside. So whatever path he writes out for me, that's the path that I have to live.
Brother Jamil,
Yes, sir.
I want to go back to the
Take it back. Take it
2
back.
week paycheck. That's what you said. I got my check, right? And when I got my check, I already know what I'm doing when I get my money. So when I got my check, I knew the whole check was already gone. Now, it's a lot of money. But I knew the whole check was gone. And guess what? I did what I had to do with that check. Because next month, or the following month, or the next month, all of it's mine. And then the next check, it goes back to the bill. But the thing is, the bills don't never stop coming. So you got to pay the bills. Because if I pay partial of the bill, then
Next month.
I got to dip into what I'm planning on doing for Robert.
Yeah.
And for Robert, I'm saving. So you have to be careful to pay your bills. Because even when you got kids and stuff, sometimes you just have to say, you ain't getting it.
No.
You're not getting it.
That word no again. No.
You ain't getting it. Because I know I used to do mine like that. I'll see you in 2 weeks. But you ain't getting it. I got to make sure that you got light, heat, food in the cabinet, and that's what's going to happen.
That's a necessity.
And that's all you need.
That's a
Because like
necessity.
my brother said, you cut the TV off.
Yes, you can.
My kids never watched TV when they came home from school. From Monday to Friday, they didn't watch TV.
No, they don't
I
watch
cut the TV off. You want to watch TV? Friday,
Friday,
Saturday, and Sunday. You do not. And that was their whole career. Their whole career. And they all end up being honorable students.
That's right.
So I know what you're saying is right. We have to take a stand because you said you wait for what you said. Wow, we waiting? I'm waiting so he can keep on talking to me while I'm waiting. As he's talking to me, I don't mind waiting. I don't care if it's 5 years from now. I'm still waiting because my Lord is talking to me. Some people wait, and you're in solitary confinement. You can't do nothing. You're just there, waiting. Your mind is idle. And waiting means you don't have an idle mind. You said it earlier. Keep on pressing with your Lord. You should not be bored. You sit up there bored and waiting, then you make God, he said, I'll see you next month. When he was just coming, he was just getting ready to hand it to you.
All them years in the wilderness.
He was just going to give it to you. Then he said, I'll see you next month. Then the next time, next day, I'm going to give it to you. I'll see you next year now. Because that's the kind of God he is.
And he don't like murmuring and
He
complaining.
sure don't.
But that also, when you feel like you're never going to get to that blessing, it causes people to become discouraged.
Hey, I'm waiting on mine. I'm still waiting on mine.
That's why so many people turn away. I can't do this anymore.
Right.
I was better off,
To each his own.
doing what I was doing before. I'm
To
going
each
to
his own.
That's why I said this walk is not for wimps. It's not.
It makes them stray.
This walk is not for wimps. I see you there. It's not. said another brother, how many brother was, he wasn't looking at that. I want the heart. What kind of heart do you have? You got to have the heart that can stand after doing all the standing. You got to have the heart that when they slap you in the face, when they spit in your face, when they talk about you, you got to have the heart to still hang in there. You got to stand, because this is not for whips. God, when you look at Joshua with no whip, you look at David, when you look at all of Solomon, all of those people that served God, they served them, to the fullest. They had their flaws, their mistakes, but it didn't allow them, because that's not the bad thing because you fall or you mess up. It's about when you fall or mess up, you still get said, oh, you knocked me down, but I'm back up. Round 2. Round 3. Let me just get her first. Go ahead.
I am so glad that we still have God's word in our country. And I think that we need to redeem the time with it. And as we're saying, you're talking about the eagle. He's learning about his instincts. And there's a scripture that says that the ones who have their, it's a word like instincts, trained for righteousness will be the ones that will be able to stand. And we need to continually, day by day, be obedient to his word and be in his word. And I know for myself, I'm nearly 56. And I am still learning about obedience. Yeah. And as I'm obedient, the Lord shows me more of what he was trying to show me before.
Amen. So what my initial study came from was Job, as I read the whole book of Job again. And first of all, Job was not kind of in the same category as we are today. Job was an upright man and feared God like no other. Like he said, it was nobody as upright and feared the Lord like Job did.
The whole land.
Okay, the whole land. Okay, so Job was kind of in the league of extraordinary gentlemen. Okay, and so Satan, as he roars around, looking, you come up there and mess around, and he says, what you up here for? Well, I'm going to the story. I'm seeking to see who I can devour, seeking who I can mess up, seeking who I can destroy, kill, and whatever, And he said, well, how do you consider my servant Job? And we know the story. Job only loved you and served you because you got your protection and your hit, all your gates and all that stuff around him. Nobody can penetrate that. He only loved you because of all the things you have for him, all the cattle and all the camels and the donkeys and all the stuff you have. That's the only reason why he's serving you. That's the only reason why. So God said, okay, well, great. Well, go ahead and take all that stuff then. And I guarantee you, he ain't going to turn around and curse me. Take the stuff. So he takes it. Yeah, Job still holds his integrity.
Amen.
Hold his integrity. You see, see, that's what we got to understand too. You probably heard me say this a lot of times, and I will always say it. It's good when we got multiplication and we got blessings tripling in our life. It's good when we got addition to our life, when things are added in our life and they're coming to pass and we're getting the things and we're getting where we want to be in life. It's great. It's wonderful. But then when it comes to subtracting things, when it comes to division, when things are not adding up to what you thought that they should add up to, now, how do we stand in that time now? Okay, you always thought, if I always pay my tithes, I always pay my offerings, I ain't going to never be broke. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you can pay your tithes and your offering. You can pay your tithes and your offering, you can pay it, and it's just sometimes you come down to the point where you don't have. It's not because even when Job's friends, they thought, well, surely, Job, you had to do something evil. Why in the world would God come down and just start doing this stuff to you if you didn't do something wrong? And it wasn't because he did something wrong. It's because sometimes God has to just prune you still. Sometimes he just has to take things away from you to get you to another level, to get you out of your comfortable zone sometimes and get you where he wants you to be. And sometimes when you're so comfortable with things, and when you're so comfortable with possessions and worldly possessions, sometimes even when he's in Israel, he says, I just want you to remember something, children of Israel, that when you get to the promised land flowing with milk and honey, I just don't want you to forget me. Because sometimes we get a lot of stuff and we forget him. We get a brand new car and we drive right past the church. We get a nice house that we're comfortable in, and then we say, well, I'm going to have Bible study at home. I don't need to come to church.
Yeah.
And so there's sometimes those things have us said, well, yeah, but Job wasn't that type of person. He had those things, but he always made sure he lifted up the name of God. He always made sure he prayed for his children, just even in case they might sin. He always went out there and prayed for them and put sacrifices out for them. But the point of the matter is that getting to the second part of what my topic was, waiting on his blessing, standing on his promises, standing on what he said, standing that he would never leave us nor forsake us, standing on the foundation of this word. It's not hard to believe in a God that never failed before. He never failed. Never. Have never failed. Not man one that served. Days that I never see the righteous forsaken, nor the seed begging bread. I never see it. And so, even if it's to make it all short, make it all